6 businesses that you can start that will be recession proof. What that means is that you can start a business, and once you've started this business, even during the recession, it will survive. It may struggle a little bit, but the truth of the matter is that it will survive. This is based on data, research that I have looked up. I'll share some links in the description. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is how to get back on your feet after you've experienced a burnout. But before we get into it, older brother Tsepo here. In this channel, I speak entrepreneurship and entrepreneur's mindset. Let's get right into today's video, and number 1 is a retail store. Now, when I speak retail, don't think the biggest brands like ShopRite, Pick n Pay, Woolworths. You can even think of a tuck shop, a small convenience store. And in a small convenience store, what you will be providing, it's up to you. But if you look at things such as food, which is basic needs for people, which is something that people are always going to need, because people are always going to need to eat. And you sell hygiene products, people are always going to buy hygiene products because they need to be clean. They have to be clean. All right. That's the first business that you want to start if you want to go through the recession and survive the recession. There's a caveat to this. If your rent costs and your operation costs are too high, then you might struggle during the recession. But if they're not too high, you will definitely survive the recession. The other business is food and beverages. It doesn't matter how broke people are. People will always make a plan to eat, to have something that they can enjoy. So fast food businesses do tend to survive the recession, and businesses that sell beverages, especially alcoholic beverages, do tend to survive the recession. In fact, they tend to grow during the recession because you are frustrated, you may be anxious, people may be depressed as well. So alcohol and food are comforting to a certain extent. Number 3 is baby products. Baby products are something that are always going to be needed because every day people are being born. You know somebody who's probably pregnant or is about to be a father. You know somebody who just gave birth. You know a guy who just had a child given birth to. They are always going to need baby products. So baby products can be baby food, can be baby clothing, it can be brand new when it comes to clothing, or it can be secondhand. And even if it's secondhand, you will find a way to actually survive the recession, because in the recession, people don't actually afford brand new things unless they are more on the affordable side. So if you sell secondhand clothing, you'll have your clothing be more affordable than brand new stuff, so you survive the recession. Another thing that people are going to always gravitate to during the recession is looking presentable. So looking presentable, it means that people will need a hair salon or a barber shop. So number 4 is a hair salon or a barber shop. For grooming, people always want to look presentable. So if I am talking to you, I want to make sure that my hair is cut as short as it possibly can be at all times, because that's the look that I prefer. Somebody prefers to have an afro or a fade, so they always want to ensure that they look fresh. A lady wants to always ensure that her braids, her afro, bantu knot, or all the other stuff that is a mafazi. She wants to ensure that she always looks presentable and beautiful. So a hair salon will always survive the recession. A nail bar. Now, a nail bar is sort of something that provides more of a luxurious service. Yes, a luxurious service. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that people don't want to have the nails done, because this also ties into them looking presentable. This also ties into them looking beautiful, looking good. And a nail bar is number 5. So number 5 is a nail bar. You will survive the recession. Another one is the business that I'm actually in. Number 6 is a tattoo business. You will decide where you do your tattoo business, whether from home or you do house calls and you travel to your customers, to your clients' homes, apartments, houses, at parties, whatever. You decide. A tattoo business is also something that is a luxury service, but evidence shows that people do go for tattoos even during the recession. The reason for this is because it is relatively affordable if you think about the fact that doing tattoos is actually long term. So if you have a tattoo, you're going to have a tattoo for the rest of your life. So that one-time payment is relatively affordable compared to things that you would consistently have to buy every single month. So a tattoo is sort of affordable. Hence, number 6 is a tattoo business that will survive a recession. Now, we're going to talk about how to get back on your feet after experiencing a burnout. A burnout is something that I have experienced in my photography and video business, and also providing digital marketing services. The other digital marketing services that I still do provide right now is consultations when it comes to SEO and creating websites. However, with photography, I had a burnout to a point that if somebody was to call me and say, yo, I need a photo shoot, I need a photographer for a maternity photo shoot or a corporate photo shoot or event photography, I will actually reject that booking and give it to somebody that I know who is a photographer or videographer and is still full-time in that business. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that I completely gave up on photography, because I still do photography for my own business in the hygiene manufacturing business. So the burnout is me burning out when it comes to working directly as a photographer, but I got back up on my feet in another business and I still use photography. So what I would say for you, if you are going through a burnout or have went through a burnout, is instead of saying, you know what, I'm done with being self-employed, I'm done with hustling, what you could do is actually look at what you were doing, whatever business that you were doing, look at your successes and your failures, and then apply these to your next journey. If it's a job, if it's another business, apply the lessons that you got from your burnout. Were you doing too much? You were not having a work-life balance. And work-life balance, you know, for entrepreneurs it's a bit difficult, but if you had no work-life balance whatsoever, let's say 100% of your time was spent working and you didn't have even 5 or 10% of leisure just for yourself, then you're definitely going to have a burnout. And if you've had a burnout because of that, you know what to do in your next business or in your next journey. If I'm starting another business, I'll give 10% for rest and leisure. If you burnt out because your business was not really getting customers and you just kept on spending your own money to get customers, and that really frustrated you to a point that it did burn you out, well, what you could do about that is understand what made your business not to get customers. Was it marketing? Was it bad sales? Or you were just not reaching enough people based maybe on funding because you couldn't reach enough people, depending on your business. Then you will understand when you start the next business, what can you do to tweak, even though you don't have funding, what things can you do to tweak how you reach new people so that you can get more customers for you to fund your business. And that's about it when it comes to getting back up on your feet after experiencing a burnout. You need to actually look at what made you burn out in the past and then how to avoid it in the next journey. I'm done with this video. Love you very much. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.